I was playing Mario 64 recently, and something about it started to bother me. I went into Princess Peach's castle, did the thing where you look up into the sunlight and you're suddenly transported to a cloud level where you have to collect red coins. And the thought occurred to me, is this heaven? I mean, it definitely looks the way we're taught to imagine it. Endless fluffy clouds, rainbows, wings. You get there by literally going towards the light. But then you start to notice things. There are 4 towers and 1 central platform. And otherwise, not much of anything. Kind of a strange place to spend eternity. And those towers don't just go up. They stretch down endlessly, maybe all the way back down to Earth. The more I looked, the less satisfied I was with the idea of this being heaven. But the question wouldn't go away. Does Super Mario 64 have a heaven? To figure that out, we'll have to explore each level of the castle, analyze the areas that resemble Eternal Paradise, and determine if there's a real candidate. The thing is, Mario 64 actually starts out pretty grounded. Well, as grounded as a game with talking mushrooms and magic paintings can be. You begin the game in the gardens outside of a castle. Everything feels real. The first level you go to is Bob-omb Battlefield. Take away the talking bombs, the wacky enemies, the magically floating platforms. This too feels like it can be a real place. Then you have Whomp's Fortress, which is just a fortress. Jolly Roger Bay, which is just a bay. Cool Cool Mountain, which is just a snowy mountain. Hold on a second. While we're here, there's just one thing I have to do. That's better. Where was I? Jolly Roger Bay, Fortress. Oh yeah, there's a secret fish tank level, a secret slide. Once you get 10 stars, that allows you to look up into the light and emerge in Cloud Rainbow Land, which is our strongest contender so far. That pretty much does it for the first floor of the castle. There's also the first Bowser boss level, which is certainly abstract in design, but most definitely not heaven. Maybe a contender for HE double hockey sticks. Things get a little stranger in the basement. Right off the bat, you got Big Boo's haunt. Ghosts? Well, maybe this is some kind of afterlife. Wait a second. Are Boos dead people? Are Boos dead people? Oh, guess not. Well, that rules that out. Next is Hazy Maze Cave, which has a giant friendly monster. Hello. I could never spend eternity with that guy. Oh, yeah, hi, how you doing? Lethal Lava Land really lives up to its name, but I don't think I have to explain why this is not what we're looking for. Shifting Sandlands is just Egyptian pyramid themed. Dire Dire Docks is just another water level. Bowser has a sub though, and I think that's cool. On floor 2, the game starts to abandon all semblance of reality. Snowman's Land is a frozen tundra, presumably ruled by this giant sentient snowman. While perhaps this huffing, humongous snow sculpture is this level's deity, this most certainly is not paradise. Wet Dry World entirely revolves around hitting switches to either make the water levels rise or fall. This level was a nightmare for me as a kid. In Tiny Huge Island, jumping in a pipe is the difference between being in a Lilliputian world where everything is tiny. Look at these little Goombas, they're so cute. Or being in the same world, but everything is much, much bigger. This level was always my favorite. Yeah, but not heaven though. Tall Tall Mountain is actually relatively normal, just a tall mountain. There is a monkey that steals your hat, and I hate him. Making our way up to floor 3, we got Tick Freaking Ta Clock. I was surprised to see online that there are more than a few defenders of this level. Granted, it is cool we're on the inside of this grandfather clock where every tick influences the platforming. But in my opinion, the controls are not tight enough to support landing on these tiny platforms and maneuvering correctly. Yeah, I suck at the game. If you enter the level when the clock hand points to a specific time, you can make the clock stop, making this challenge much easier. But how was I supposed to know that as a kid? Wing Mario Over the Rainbow is considered a secret level, even though it's this unhidden hole in the ground with a light shining out from it. Could this be it? I see clouds, I see rainbows, and I see... Well, It actually looks like that's all there is. I suppose the only thing that gives this level a leg up over the first one is that I don't see any towers that look like they descend all the way down to Earth. But it still leaves a lot to be desired. Where am I gonna live? What am I gonna do for fun? Just glide from cloud to cloud collecting red coins? Because to be honest, I got kind of tired of that after about 5 minutes. But there is still one more level to analyze. Rainbow Ride. Okay, now this is promising. A magical rainbow flying carpet, a flying pirate ship, a huge floating castle, plenty of stuff to do, and a nice floating castle. This must be Mario 64's Nirvana. Except it's not. This is notoriously one of the worst levels in the game. Most of it is flying on various magical carpets, maneuvering around objects the entire time. And if you mess up at all, whether by falling off or missing your magic carpet ride, you have to start the whole thing over. And that sweet floating castle? Well, its fireplace is actually a deadly flamethrower. Who the hell would want to live here? Well, that's it. That's all the levels in Super Mario 64. We found 3 candidates for heaven, but none of them panned out. I'm really sorry for wasting your time. Wait a second. The afterlife comes after your life. You have to die first. What happens when you die in Super Mario 64? Well, if you have extra lives, you'll just be booted out of the level you were in. But if you have no lives left, you'll get a game over screen and you'll be sent back to the main menu. And what waits for you at the main menu? Mario's face, which can be stretched and manipulated like a big glob of Play-Doh. This is heaven. Thanks for watching.